Bonjour, bonsoir. Welcome to another video. And before I get into this video, after I do this video, I'm gonna do some sit-ups and push-ups. I'm gonna do 20 sit-ups and 10 push-ups. Then I'm going to go outside, lift weights 10 times. Then I'm going to run around in my back, then I'm going to run around the backyard of my home. And I do this on the weekdays. I exercise on the weekdays, but I don't exercise on the weekends. And I'm doing this just to stay in shape. Plus, I'm eating right and I'm drinking more water. I'll say it again. Plus, I'm going to eat right. Plus, I'm eating right and I'm going to drink more water. The drinking more water part, I haven't been drinking enough water. And that was the problem of me not getting enough sleep. I couldn't sleep well, and I couldn't sleep at all, because during the middle of the night, I act like I couldn't breathe. I act like I was suffocating. It was the fact that I wasn't drinking enough water and keeping myself hydrated. So that was the problem. Yeah. So I'm drinking enough water, drinking plenty of water, and I'm exercising. And I haven't been doing a lot of that last year and the year before that. And also, I'm on not drinking enough water. I wasn't just like feeling like I was suffocating and I couldn't breathe when I was trying to like sleep. And when I finally went to sleep, I woke up, I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was suffocating. It's not just that, it was also, I felt tired and sluggish. I didn't have enough energy. Because I believe that if you drink enough water, water will keep you hydrated. It will give you enough energy. It will flush out your kidneys and flush away the toxins and stuff in your liver. Yeah, water will make you feel better, and it will keep you hydrated. So I think that was the problem of me not feeling like I was feeling like I was suffocating in bed at night, like a lot of nights, and feeling sluggish and tired because I wasn't drinking enough water. Okay, yeah, I heard that. I don't know if this is true, but if you don't drink enough water, you get kidney stones. So I want to avoid that. And I haven't been exercising as a lot as I did in the past. So I'm going to pour it on the exercising this time. I'm going to keep doing this because I got to stay in shape, and I want to feel good about myself. And it also can wipe away the depression and misery from me. Okay, enough of that. Enough of my health report. Let me dive right into this video. Okay, all right. I'm going to read something about a city in British Columbia, Canada, and it's called Tumbler Ridge. And let me read something about this city. Well, it's not a city, it's a district multiplicity. Okay. Tumbler Ridge is a district multiplicity in the foothills of the BC Rockies in northeastern British Columbia, Canada, and a member multiplicity of the Peace River Regional District. Okay, it's a city in northeastern British Columbia, and it is a district multiplicity. Okay, and why you saw the title of this video and want to know what this title is all about. And I'll tell you why this title video, I want to tell you why the title of this video is what it is. It is about a mass shooting that happened last week, Tuesday last week. Last week I heard about it on Wednesday. Yeah, I heard about it Wednesday on DW News on YouTube. And I was shocked at this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read about this. On February the 10th, 2026, 9 people were killed in a mass shooting at the Tumbler Ridge Secondary School and in the home of the alleged shooter in the community. It was suspected that 18-year-old Jess Van Roster carried out the attack. Van Roster was found dead from a presumed self-inflicted gunshot wound at the school. Okay. I heard about this. It was terrible. Okay. The shooter, Van Roster, and 10 schools, I think 10 people died. Most of them were children, and was one teacher. Yeah, one teacher and a bunch of students were killed by the shooter. And after that, the shooter committed suicide and killed himself. It was shocking that something like that happened in a northeastern British Columbia district multiplicity, which is a tight-knit community where people knew each other. And there are stories that the people there were very, very friendly. I never been there, so I just heard about it on the news. And it was shocking, and it was terrible, and it was. The children were killed by a gunman, and this gunman was mentally ill. And it was kind of shocking, and it happened in a country like Canada, a country that has strict, rigid gun control. Yeah, a country where mass shootings are rare, and they don't happen a lot like they do here in the U.S. So it was sad. It hurt everybody in Tumbler Ridge and also all over British Columbia. All over that. It happened in Tumbler Ridge, and it affected everybody in Tumbler Ridge, and also affected everybody all over the British Columbia province. It happened all over that Canadian province. And And I'm no stranger to British Columbia because I've been there. I went there with my parents and my sister back in 2013 on this cruise ship that sailed from Seattle, Washington to Juneau and Skagway in Alaska. Then it sailed back down and stopped at Victoria on Vancouver Island, which is part of British Columbia. Victoria, yes, it stopped at Victoria on Vancouver Island, which was the provincial capital of British Columbia. And I went to Victoria, and it was a beautiful city, and it was. I love that. I like that city. It was gorgeous. I just I just love being there because of how beautiful it is. And the people in the people in that city were very friendly, and they were. And but there's some coldness and some antisocialness there. But overall, it was a beautiful city, and it was. And that was the only part of BC that I ever been to. It was terrible hearing about some school students at some school in Tumbler Ridge being shot and killed by a mentally ill person. And I also heard that there was, yeah, it was a, yeah, I had to pause the video because well, I had to pause the camera because someone came in. Didn't want you to didn't want to record a conversation that I had with this person. So okay, let me pick up where I left off. Okay, yeah, that school shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC, in Canada. Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. Yeah, Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. A mass shooting happened there. Yeah, those poor kids. I think a lot of them were, yeah, I think 10 of them were killed. Okay, 10, it was 10 people. Not 10 people, like, no, it was like it was a lot of children. I think some students and a teacher were killed. Yeah, a lot of students. I think 10 of them and 10 students. Not 10 students. Like, okay, it was 10. It was 10 victims. Okay, students and a school teacher. The school teacher was 39 years old. I think, yeah, it was a woman, and the students were around the ages of 11 and 12 years old. Okay, the teacher was 39 years old, and most of the students were around the ages of 11 years old and 12 years old. And it was just heartbreaking. And it was. You know, and my heart goes out to the families of the victims of that mass shooting. It had happened at that school in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. I want to send my heart out to those people. Yeah, give my condolences to those people, and it's sad. I don't know who is watching this video, I don't know who watches the videos on my channel, but I don't know if all of you are parents or not. I'm not a parent. I'm an uncle. I'm not a father. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a married man. I'm not a husband with a wife, and I don't have any children. I'm single, and all I am is just an uncle to my late brother's daughter. And I don't. And I said this before in previous videos. I don't know how it feels to be the father of a child who lost his or her life to a mass shooter. Yeah, I don't know how it feels. I don't know how it feels. I don't know how it feels to be a father, a parent who lost a child in a mass shooting that happened at a school where they should be safe. I don't know how that feels, but yeah, I don't know how it feels to lose a child. But but deep down inside, it hurts. It really hurts, and it's terrible, and it is. It's like, I don't know. It feels like someone just punched you in the stomach and just walked away. That's what it feels like. And this is not a Canada thing, and this is not a United States thing. I'm just gonna come out and say this. I think children should be safe from danger when they're at school, because a school is a place that they can feel safe at. A school is a place where they can learn learn in a classroom, socialize with the other kids, make friends, play with the other kids. Boys and girls have crushes on each other. Kids talk about they like this teacher and they don't like that other teacher. Yeah, stuff like this, having fun, just being a kid. And that's what kids should go through when they're going to school. They shouldn't have their lives shattered by some lunatic with a gun coming into their school and shooting up their school and killing them and killing teachers. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, some of the students will survive all of this and they'll be traumatized. They shouldn't be going and being and crying and shaking and trembling in fear. They shouldn't be going through that. Period. They shouldn't be going through this. And I feel that, a kid should come home from school and come home and give their mom and dad a hug and kiss them on the cheek, and they go and tell them how their day was at school. That's what they, yeah, that's, yeah, that along with all the things that I said about kids should be in a school, where being in a school where it's safe, a school campus where they're safe from danger, you know, talking to each other, making friends with each other, boys and girls having crushes on each other, boys and girls playing with each other, boys and girls learning together in class, boys and girls like loving one teacher and hating the other, then being mentored by an adult, yeah, and growing up and becoming adults, happy adults where they can succeed in life, be something that they want to be. Yeah, 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 yeah. Learning at school, and, you know, and coming home to mom and dad and hugging mom and dad and giving them a giving them a kiss on the cheek. Yeah, reading them a bedtime story before they go to bed, and if they feel scared in their rooms, they'll run to mom and dad and get in the bed with mom and dad and sleep with them all through the night. Yeah, kiss them good night before they go to bed, before they close their eyes and go to sleep. Yeah, a parent kissing their kids on the cheek or on the forehead before they go to bed. Yeah, it's, you know, yeah, I know that all of us are gonna die one day, and it's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna die one day, and all of you are gonna die one day, and and I know I'm gonna die, but I don't think about it. I don't talk about it. And life is precious to all of us. And we gotta cherish it. And we can't bicker and argue with each other. We can't hate each other. We can't turn our backs on each other. We can't do that. We got to get along with each other. You know, and I'm just sick and tired of all this division and hate and people looking down on other people and putting them down and viewing them as worthless. You're worthless, you're nothing, and talk about, oh, I'm going to get right with God. Well, if you want to get right with God, and I don't want to be religious, if you want to get right with God, you can't go around and viewing an adult like they're nothing and just mentor children and be a mentor towards them, and just shit on someone your age and crap all of them and view them as nothing. And you talk about, oh, I don't want to be bothered, leave me alone, and I didn't come to this job to make friends, I came to this job to work. And see, that's why there's just so much hate and evil and division in a country like the US. And it's nothing like that in countries like Canada. But, you know, this is the world that we live in. And we all got to accept it, regardless. And, yeah, yeah, and I said this in a previous video. Uh, former President Barack Obama said this: being a parent is like wearing your heart outside of your body. I think that's what he said. he's a parent, so he know how it feels to be a dad. And if you lose your child through some maniac or someone who's like sick in the head and full of hate, just comes in with a gun and shoots and kills a child, like it just hits you like a ton of bricks, and it makes you break down and cry. And it does. And these mass shootings that happen in the US, they're not just fueled through people who are mentally ill, people who are mentally unstable. It's fueled by people who are full of hate, people who were sexually abused and bullied as children, and they grow up and they grab a gun and go and shoot and kill other people. Some of them survive and some of them didn't survive through them committing suicide by killing themselves. Shoot and kill people, turn the gun on themselves and shoot and kill themselves, and get shot and killed by police. And yeah, and well, Canada has the tools. They have the tools to prevent another to prevent another mass shooting. Yeah, gun control won't stop all the mass shootings, but they'll keep them from happening all the time. And Canada has strict, rigid gun control. And also, I heard that in some schools in Victoria, on Vancouver Island, yeah, Victoria, the capital of British Columbia. I heard schools there are having their children, their students, kids, practicing emergency drills in case a case of mass shooting happens there. And I'm shocked at this. And that something like this is happening, and the schools there are not fortresses / lockdown prisons. Their schools are not like the schools here in the U.S. Yeah, schools in the U.S. are gated, lockdown prisons, and the gun laws here in the U.S. are loose and lax, and you got the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Yeah. Yeah, the U.S. isn't going to go in the same direction as Canada is, but yeah, so there's nothing can be done on that. Yeah, and before I end this video, there was someone who I met here on YouTube. His name is Prince Aaron. He has a YouTube channel, and he has Asperger's, and he was a very chatty guy. He talked a lot. His conversations were one-sided. He freezes up when I talk to him. When I get done talking, he doesn't say anything because of his Asperger's. He told me to go and get a gun for protection. And I told him I don't want a gun, and I don't need a gun, because here in the U.S. we have way too many mass shootings anyway. So I have no interest in getting a gun. I don't want a gun. Because if I do get a gun and use it to protect myself, I'll shoot the bad guy, but I might shoot and hit an innocent person. And that's what I'm afraid of, and that's why I don't want a gun. And I don't need one. I don't want one, and I don't need one. So there. So my heart goes out to those kids and a teacher who lost their lives in that mass shooting at that school in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. So my heart goes out to them. So I'm going to end this video with a moment of silence with a flag from British Columbia and a flag from Canada. All right.